Three, two. We are live with the Direct X Show. We back. We've been gone for a while. We got lives. I know I got women, what I'm saying, in my life that I got to take care of. No, I don't. I got one. She gonna kill me. She hear that shit. Don't tell nobody. But we here. We back with the crew. What I'm saying? Kaleidoscope over there probably drilling oil somewhere in Wisconsin. Don't know. Hope, what I'm saying? My man Sega surfing is Hawaii. And Ghost is Ghost. So let's go. So let's talk to the panel. Let's go first. E-Rock. Tell everybody what's up.
Hey guys, man, this is E-Rock X, the Don King of Xbox, the hype man for the Xbox brand, and the meanest man on Twitter. Check me out. It's E-Rock X at Twitter. The YouTube channel and the lowest quality on YouTube. Like, hate, or subscribe. And it's been a while, man, and it's great to be back on the DX show minus the fraud.
All right, all right, all right. Now next we got, what I'm saying? Flip Money. Tell everybody about yourself, Flip.
Yo, what's going on? This your boy Flip Money. You can holler at me on Xbox Live, Flip Money Online. Please, no weirdo, because I'll block your ass. I'm just saying. You can hit me up on Twitter, Flip Money
We didn't ask for your
1975.
outro. We asked for your intro.
I'm saying, I'm telling them, man. I'm just telling them. Gotta let them know, man. No weirdo, man. I can't, But, up on Twitter, it's good to be on the back on the Direct X show. So, holla at
All right, all right. Now next we got my man Jay Long. It's been a long time, man. What's up?
What's going on? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's been a long time, like you said. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, all right. Then we got the most powerful gamer, the most person that likes to tag me into drama. he might tell him what's up.
Yeah, good to be back. It's been quite some time, but we don't fucking want to do a show just to talk about same old rubbish bullshit, because we like to call out bullshit. That's the difference. So hopefully we'll be able to do that in tonight's episode. Good to be back with my brothers.
All right, all right, all right. So we're gonna change the game up. We're gonna do something that I don't see too many people have done before, especially in gaming. We haven't talked about what we was gonna talk about. None of this is scripted, it's non-scripted, and we're just gonna go by order. And then also I'm gonna look in the live chat. And I want to see you guys give me questions, what you guys want to hear us talk about, and we're going to be more interactive with you guys. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to have to just sit here and just listen. You can interact with all of us because, we all kind of good-hearted people when we want to be. So let's start off with you, E-Rock. What's one of the top things been on your mind this week in gaming or this month or whatever you want to talk about?
One of the top things this been in my game on my gaming world on my mind this month is the fact that fall is here and it's about to be on, man. It's about to be on. Already this past August 21st. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah, we can hear
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Because it's not a podcast if I don't ask, can you guys hear me? Because we got
Good.
Comcast over here and that shit is always going out. But Shenmue 1 and 2 remaster just dropped on all platforms except for the Switch. Sorry, Switch. Sorry, Nintendo. It dropped on the PC. It dropped on the Xbox. It dropped on the PlayStation 4. For those who don't know, Sega Forever isn't here, and Heapbot can fill you in on what a fantastic and legendary game Shenmue is. I've been playing that. People think I don't like Japanese games. That's a lie. I enjoy Japanese games. I just don't like the games which we call crap. You know what kind of games they are. But Shenmue's, anyway, is a fantastic game. It's amazing. It's a
Right.
masterpiece by Sega. It's out now. I advise everybody to check it out. I'm also excited, guys. What's on my mind is Shadow the Tomb Raider drops in just a week and a half. It drops September 14th, and it's been a lot of talk, a lot of butt on the interwebs about uh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider doesn't look that impressive because it's multi-plat. Shadow of the Tomb Raider doesn't look that impressive. And there's a video up from IGN and a video up from the game showing how amazing Tomb Raider looks. This is like the best looking Tomb Raider ever. I got it pre-ordered. I'm excited about that, man. I just don't understand why, if it's not an exclusive on PlayStation, people got to try to underplay a video game. But I'm excited about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, guys. I'm excited about Shenmue. I'm just excited. Fall is here. Gaming is heated up. No matter what platform you got, it's something for everybody to play. That's what's going on with me, 100.
All right, all right. So what's up? What's been like some that that interests you? Flip Money.
You know what? I like to talk about other than No Man's Sky. Why haven't it been a new Splinter Cell yet?
Whoa.
That's what I'm waiting for. A new Splinter Cell, man. Like something fresh and new. I mean, I'm thinking like, the relationship that Microsoft had. Why haven't it been in the previous Tomb Raider that it is out there, whatever? How come that didn't get the Xbox One X? Ubisoft, please tell me. Like, I would like to know that, man. I want to hear about that, whatever. That's one of the things that I've been thinking about since you and live while I've been playing it and stuff, and they've been popping in my head. Well, wait a minute, why haven't they getting a Xbox One X enhancement? I mean, come
That's
on,
a
this
good
is
question.
Yeah.
This is next gen. Like, Phil out there doing the leg work or whatever, whoever he have out there doing the leg work, whatever, going around telling them like, yo, let's make these games backwards compatible. But why hasn't that game? I'm thinking like Microsoft and Ubisoft should. After last time I checked was like tight and tight. So what's going on?
Well, it might be something. Remember Michael Ironside got on Inside Xbox that people that always hate Inside Xbox and want to critique it like they can sit on a motherfucking show and do a show and make it funny. Just because they talk shit on YouTube, you get on them bright lights and start melting your ass, probably be faint. Someone, but no, they was talking about Michael Ironside was talking about it. He couldn't say certain, but he might be coming back to voice it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on Inside Xbox. So Jay Long, what was I don't know if you've been in the loop, I'm saying, in the interweb of the gaming street. So what's a topic that I'm saying that interests you a week or a month ago?
I'm with E-Rock. Yeah, I've been enjoying Shenmue. I've actually, it's dope. It's actually in widescreen, which I really like. They have kind of a fast travel feature, which is pretty useful. They did not improve the audio. I guess it's the files itself. It just really sounds muffled.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's much more noticeable. Not the audio, I mean the dialogue. The rest of the audio is fine, but it's a lot more noticeable on HD, obviously. But the game still plays, how it played back then. It holds up, you could say, but it's just a different kind of game. I'd say the combat is better than Yakuza 6. Because I played the Yakuza demo, I went to Shenmue. I'm like, I still feel.
I told you that.
Yakuza Kiwami, no, that has better combat. But 6, yes, which is kind of sad that the remaster has better combat than the sequel. But that's beyond the point. I actually want to get to Shenmue 2 because I've actually never played that at all. I beat Shenmue 1 twice. I also find it interesting how much I see people buying it on PlayStation. I find it disrespectful, but that's besides the point. Another game I've been playing, I played a while back actually, but it was pretty dope. The Splinter Cell Conviction co-op. I played that with Chief when it was free, and that's actually really fire. Apparently, it's like 4 missions. The first one was like an hour and a half. The second one we've been having a lot of trouble with, but the stealth co-op is actually reminding me how much Metal Gear Solid 5 dropped the ball when they removed the co-op that was in Peace Walker. The co-op campaign in Peace Walker that made the game for me. And the fact that Splinter Cell has a campaign with Fisher and a separate campaign with Fisher and I think his partner, the black guy, I forget his name, is dope. What else? I'm looking forward to obviously Forza Horizon 4.
Yes.
I'm also looking forward, and I recently played Web of Shadows. He recommended that Spider-Man game to me. And when I say that combat is ridiculous, I mean it's ridiculous. Look, I'm webbing onto Black Cat. I flip her, do a kickflip on her, like with like a skateboard type shit. I kick her, do a kickflip. I'm riding her like a skateboard down a building. I punch her into the side of a building. We're punching in a building. Like the combat is ridiculous, and I can't explain it.
Damn.
And I'm doing stuff that I thought was original to Sunset Overdrive. That's here. The whole I'm switching between a corner. That also Spider-Man PS4 is doing. You could do that in Web of Shadows, which actually surprised me. You could call in Moon Knight or Luke Cage to help you in the middle of combat. Like that game is sick. And I'm finding out that Greg Miller gave that game a 5.5. If this guy praises Spider-Man PS4 for its combat, you know what he is. He's a fraud.
Yeah.
And the fact that this game has a 60 something on Metacritic with combat as sick as this, it actually kind of makes me mad. And the fact that people like myself actually believe these people and skipped out on this great game actually bothers me. I'd actually put this up there with Ninja Gaiden. It's ridiculous, but the combat is that sick. In Spider-Man Web of Shadows, the air combat in Spider-Man PS4 is taking stuff from this. And people are trying to say it's new, running down a building and jumping off. You can do that in this game. And it makes me mad. And guess what? I am getting Spider-Man PS4. It is going to be a good game. But the downgrade is also on my mind. And we'll probably talk about that later. I'll let the rest of you guys go. But yeah.
Hey, before we go, 100, please excuse me. J-Long, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Yo, man, see, did you have the Sega Dreamcast? My God, it's been almost 20 years. Did you have the Sega Dreamcast?
I didn't have it when it came out, but my cousin he's like, yo, you can have this. Check this game out, Shenmue. And I played it, and that's how I played it.
I had the Sega Dreamcast, man. It was a dope console, but when Shenmue came out, by that time I had already gotten rid of my Sega Dreamcast, which was a mistake. I don't want to turn this into a Shenmue podcast, but dude, listen,
it deserves it.
Guys, I don't even know where to begin. I appreciate when developers push the envelope. And how is it possible, Hebot? How is it possible, J-Long, that a game that came out in 1999, and I haven't even played Shenmue 2 yet. This is my first time playing Shenmue because I missed it the first time. How is it that a game from 1999 is more technically advanced and holds up better than you guys might get mad at me. It holds up better than Ninja Gaiden Black, which was on the Xbox. It holds up better than Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty. It holds up better than Grand Theft Auto 3. How is this possible? You can go in the stores, you could go in the buildings, you could. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable that this was on the Dreamcast.
$75 million back in 1999. That's why it holds up.
I mean, I know I'm making a big deal about this game. This is my first time playing it. As soon as I saw the commercial a month and a half ago, I said, Shenmue, finally, I get to play it. It's an automatic buy. It's just mind-blowing that Sega went and what's the guy's name that created that game, Hebot?
Yu Suzuki.
That they just went balls deep like this. I mean, 100 Flip Money is it's not for everybody. It's more like a mystery. You're trying to find out who killed your father. It spans 2 games. It's more about talking to people and discovering things broken up by fights here and there. But
it's not overly done. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We've never seen anything like this before, and the fact that I'm wowed by this game in 2018 just is a testament to what they've done. I still can't believe it, because as I'm playing this game, I'm like, wait a minute, Grand Theft Auto 3 came out a year later, and you couldn't go in the storefronts. You couldn't really do anything but drive a car and buy hookers. Right. This game is just is unbelievable, man. It's J-Long and Hebot can attest.
It was before its time. I played it. I played it on Dreamcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I played on Dreamcast, so I didn't play 2. I played once. I'm gonna go play 2. That was the first job. You had a job. You had a quota. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You can walk down the street. You know what I'm saying? You can walk down the street and, you know what I'm saying, get into random encounters. You can go play old Sega games. You know what I'm saying? At the local pub. You know what I'm saying? It was stuff you had to go to sleep. It is like you just can't run through the game. You got to go to sleep.
Yeah, you got a curfew like a
You gotta
champ.
get up. Yeah, you got to go up. You got to go to work. So when people you start, you know, people, to me, I think it was a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem. A lot of people didn't gravitate towards it because it would look at the name Shenmue. Like, what the fuck is a Shenmue? Go play it and find out.
Well, it just goes to show you when the people say that Dreamcast didn't have enough quality games, just that game alone was worth getting the Dreamcast. And that's my point. A lot of people didn't even buy Dreamcast. Oh, I'm waiting for PS2 because it's got a DVD player. It's going to be more powerful. And call themselves so-called gamers. And now they're going out and buying it on PlayStation when that game was only, followed on OG, obviously, with the second one. And then, he is only on multiplayer now because the fans were vocal. Because it wasn't going to come out. Even the direct, they didn't want to bring out the remaster either for all consoles. That was because they verbalized and they were verbal about it. Oh, listen, we want this on Xbox. Also, I'm pretty sure Phil had to do and talk to them as well with Sega. I'm pretty sure that was the situation. They're basically branding the game like it's a PlayStation game and always has been. And that's been my biggest problem since they announced Shenmue 3, since they announced that possibly there's an exclusivity, even if it's timed, and then the remaster. That was my biggest problem, that they were branding it the whole time. Oh, they brought out Yu Suzuki to promote his Kickstarter. Not to say they were paying for it. Like it's a PlayStation game when it never was. It was always a Sega game, and then it migrated to an Xbox game. But whether the fans want to like it or not, that's too fucking bad. It's just the facts. Go ahead, Flip.
But you know what, that's what makes me mad is the fact that part 2 came on the OG Xbox.
That's
and
right.
And you're telling me we getting this treatment? So okay, Microsoft decide, okay, let's bring this on over to the Xbox or whatever, the OG Xbox. So when it came down to making Shenmue 3 or whatever, we get this. That's like a slap in the face. Like, fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, well, how did that? Okay, y'all let them get it, but yeah, it was on the Xbox first.
Well, it's Yu Suzuki's fault, Flip, because he has problems with American companies because he went and took out Afterburner Climax and Outrun, right? That was on Xbox 360 in the arcade. Right. He took it out way before he even did anything on PS3. But the only reason he took it out on PS3 was because he went to court with Sega because he was fighting back for ownership of his IPs through AM2 and AM3, which he wanted back. And that was the whole debacle. But I think he put them back in after a while back on PS3 and never went back on Xbox 360. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what happened. And he didn't take them out right away on PS3, which is kind of fucked up on his part because whether we're American or not, the Dreamcast was embraced in America very well. And people accepted it. It made $100 million in 24 hours for a launch game. And remember, to make that kind of money with a console that was only $200, that's a big testament. That was never done before, ever, with Peter Moore being the leader and the helm, but it is what it is. We could talk about this subject the whole podcast, but I don't want to do that.
All right, all right. So he bought what you in these gaming streets, what kind of, caught your attention this week in the gaming streets?
Well, you want the good, the bad, the ugly, or the funny?
Just whatever you want to do.
Well, the bad part is my kids are going to school soon. I'm dreading the fall because then that means I have less time to sit down. I barely had time this summer to play unless it was some retro shit that I could do 1, 2, 3, 15, 20 minutes. It is what it is. My library keeps growing. I keep getting madder and madder. I'm in the middle of Shenmue, Strange Brigade, Epic Mickey 1. What the heck was it? The other one? Rad Rogers. You name it, I'm probably in the middle of the fucking game. I started the game.
Wow.
I haven't been, you know, Darksiders 2, which I'm trying to beat before Darksiders 3. Luckily that I'm not getting a lot of games that really interest me this holiday, like, you know, as much. My really big interest really now is mainly Tomb Raider and Darksiders, and obviously I'm gonna play Spider-Man. It's not a priority because I play so many. I know I don't see enough difference there to want to play it right away. But thanks to J Long, we're gonna collab and do a little sign and try to pick it up.
Nice.
You know, to help each other out and at the same time get to play the game. It is what it is. We have other priorities as well. So you know, that's what's bad. That kind of dreading right now. The good thing, I gotta thank God, I'm in good health. I had a little medical scare. Thank God everything came out right. That's why I was kind of like in hiatus and quiet, kind of keep it to myself. Everything came out okay for the time being, which I'm very grateful. So I'm grateful to God for that. For those of you that don't believe in religion, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend. I'm a religious man, and you know, I'm gotta be grateful to him. And you know, then the funny stuff is all this hoopla with all these guys exposing themselves with Spider-Man, saying they're a Spider-Man fan, that they so hype, and they're getting trolled and fooled because they're looking at footage from other Spider-Man games, don't even know what they're looking at. That's the funny thing. They're exposing themselves. Then the funny part is also how people are going crazy now, saying, because Insomniac saying, well, we had to sacrifice obviously certain things to keep the game within parameter for better performance, which I remember clear as day when they were talking about that they didn't bring up the resolution for Sunset to give you better performance and more NPCs on screen when they used the cloud, when Xbox had took out a little bit of that memory space that I think that was dedicated to the Kinect that you could use. And they did that little update and people were making fun of it. Oh, it's still 1080p, it's garbage. But now it's like, oh, well, they did it because, you know, they don't want to sacrifice performance. Well, I think that sounds familiar. We said that a long time ago about Sunset Overdrive. But it was different. You know, it was very different because it wasn't Xbox exclusive. Or it was too corny. Hey, that's traversal gameplay. It's too corny. That's not interesting to me. It looks like a kid game, even though you got fuck shits, people losing limbs, kids getting cut off in the middle of the game. Because you obviously, you know, they didn't play the game.
Like Spider-Man doesn't have underoos and shit.
Right. And they don't even have violence, but it's different now, you know? Let's see. I'm loving the fucking fact that I'm finally getting to get something I've been waiting for, oh my God, I can't even think how long. A lot of you guys were blessed to play Shenmue, like E-Rock. Didn't get a chance to finish it. That's fucking fantastic. And for all the real Shenmue fans out there that never got to finish it, like myself also. And now it's all about Streets of Rage 4. Fuck you, motherfuckers who hate beat 'em ups. It's all about Streets of Rage 4. I am so hyped right now. And I don't care if it looks corny, cheesy. It's Streets of Rage 4. That's all I want to hear. I had Raging Justice. Now I got Streets of Rage 4. So I'm happy about that. I hope that everybody embraces it so that they can have the same type of luck and success that Capcom had with Resident Evil, with the remasters. And look at what they're doing now. We're getting a beautiful new Devil May Cry. We got a nice little high-quality Monster Hunter. We got a beautiful remaster coming in the Resident Evil 2, which I never beat. That's the only one I never really beat. So I'm going to be able to play it in all its glory. You know, and some other stuff down the pipe now, like Onimusha, that, you know, even though it would have been better to get it backwards, come back. Yeah, Onimusha is coming back. I mean, I own the OG one, so I kind of wish it went backwards compatible with 4K enhancements. That shit would look dope. But hey, we got to start from somewhere. We got to take what we can get, and in order to get better stuff down the pipe. That's the way I always look at it. So I hope Sega brings back, you know, Golden Axe, E-SWAT, you know, Space Harrier, Alex Kidd, for Christ's sakes, and make the controls better so J Long finally likes it.
Fuck Alex Kidd. Fuck Alex Kidd, bro.
And shit like that, you know. So you know,
I hate Alex Kidd, bro. I hate that guy.
So you know, I'm happy about that. I kind of like. I'm kind of like mixed between the Cyberpunk reveal. They look nice, but at the same time, it kind of looked boring. But then again, It's just a presentation. It's not really showing you more of the game, so we gotta wait and see. Obviously, let me see what else if I miss anything. And I love the meltdown and the Ponyville. You know how they're damage controlling to the point, saying that we're just being haters when we're the ones that actually are out there playing the actual Spider-Man games and supported them through this 360 era. You got people saying whether Shattered Dimension sucked, Amazing Spider-Man sucked, and the fucking games were dope. And I've been saying this for many years, and motherfuckers like, yeah, whatever, those shits were corny. Look at Metacritic. When no real gamer does a metric of their games and their experience with games off of anybody else's opinion or review, because what you don't like, I may like. What you don't, what I shit, you don't eat, so to speak. So I'm loving it. I'm loving the meltdown. It's funny as fuck. That you can see the hypocrisy a mile away. You don't even got to point it out. I love the Moses joke. The Moses meme is funny. Moses took away the water. That meme is fucking hysterical. And one more thing. And Eminem just fucking put the rap industry in check. That shit was funny as hell.
All right. What is on me now? I saw this crazy shit today on the internet because I'm over here grilling. I'm grilling, so that's crazy. I wish they do. YouTube does it for like you on a laptop, on a desktop, like give you like real recommended shit that you usually watch. So I'm on my phone, and I'm in the grocery store. Long ass line. Matter of fact, I'm at Costco, so I'm scrolling, and it says 10 things. This dude made 10 things that Xbox has stole from PlayStation.
I think I put up that video a while ago and I talked about that shit.
That motherfucker, I don't know what's his name, the gamer, wherever the fuck his name. What's his name? Yeah, that mother stole what? Mother what? He said, well, PlayStation was the first with the analog. Motherfucker, it was a Dreamcast and a damn Nintendo 64.
Thank you.
Stupid mother. So I'm trying to hold my I was like, damn. So then he say, well, Microsoft stole the triggers. It was triggers on the 64 and on the Dreamcast. Asshole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and even on that Saturn controller that they did for Knights. Remember the circle one?
Yeah. So I'm like, what do you? Then he said, oh, this is the crazy. He said, well, Microsoft stole VR. I said, what?
Nintendo had VR, bro.
Yeah, I said, so I'm drinking. I had to have a shot before I went. Now I'm like,
that was funny as hell.
The Virtual Boy doesn't exist anymore.
Hey, Hunter, if you go on his comment section, you got to see what I put there. He challenged me. I put a comment in there. He said,
man, how you got a million? Like, whoever all the million subscribe to him, they some million fools. Because I was appalled by this. I was sitting there like, are you really? And like I say, I'm not in depth like you guys is, like, who made this, and that. I play the games. I don't even know who. Sometimes I don't know who published them or none of that.
Right.
So you guys do. So I'm sitting here like, I'm not the. What's your favorite next gen 720? Say he ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm right. Sharp, but I ain't the sharpest knife. But I'm sharp on that. Like, I done played all these systems. That's not the first. Sony. The trump card.
The
CD. Microsoft.
Yeah.
The CD.
Good.
I said that what's called had a miniature CD. TurboGrafx 16 had a CD. You had the Sega CD.
Sega started the CD as well.
Goddamn, I said, who in the blue hell is following you? You must be you got to be this got to be a public channel.
Do you remember that one day he said that PS2 redefined first-person shooters on console with the dual?
Oh my god!
Okay, he said Microsoft stole the dual. I'm like, no, Microsoft. I said, oh Jesus, you couldn't even play a first-person shooter on the original PlayStation. It was horrible.
They had the two sticks, but they didn't use them right.
Yeah. They weren't done right.
You played Halo. Microsoft innovated when it came with that even the Duke controller. I ain't mad at the Duke controller. I played it. I played the shit out of it. But you know what I'm saying? But it was innovative. It's like, damn, like it feels good. I hate playing Unreal Tournament on a Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Because you had to use the buttons to go
the strafe.
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't feel. I'm like, oh, this bullshit. I want to play this shit. I'm gonna play this shit on PC.
Yeah, it's hard.
Mouse, and I don't even like keyboard and mouse.
The only one that did it where you could move all 300 degrees with the 3-chast controller 100, not to cut you off, but just to let you know, was Soldier of Fortune on Dreamcast.
And then he did then he also brung in. He was what was that? 007.
Oh God, please don't say it.
I'm like,
say it.
I said, man, what the people in the world listens to. This is the propaganda. But you get mad at us that we trying to tell y'all the truth.
These are alternative facts, guys.
No, guys, you know what it is? Like, and it's part of the reason why I've slowly, like, if you watch my channel now, you'll notice there's more gameplay on my channel than me actually making videos. I had to tell, shout out to my partners on the Dragon X podcast, Microboxer X and the Welsh Gamer. I had to tell him, man, in like a private meeting. Well, I don't even think it was a private meeting. I think I blurted it out on a podcast 2 weeks ago. I said, I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of this. And he's like, tired of what, E-Rock? I'm tired of YouTube. I'm tired of these podcasts. No offense, guys, because of what 100 just encountered. Because we work every day. We try to make like I'm not the sharpest tool in the drawer either. My gaming knowledge ain't nowhere near where He-Bots is because I stopped gaming from 1983 to 93. But I'm not going to make a video with misinformation. But we live in a time now, guys, where this dude's misinformation is fact. He got millions of subs. He got millions of followers listening to his misinformation. And they're like, yeah, that's right. Microsoft did steal the CD. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, dude, so 20 years of video game history hasn't happened. I see it all the time. I see it all the time when these guys that write about these fucking movies. I see it all the time in gaming. It's just unbelievable to me, man. And it occurred to me that one of the reasons why I got tired of this shit is because we don't have thinkers no more, like He-Bot or Sega Forever, or shout out to Sega Man or you guys. We don't have Miguel, a Kaleidoscope. You talk to him, he knows about fucking comics. This dude's comic book knowledge is vast. His gaming knowledge is vast as well. What we have now is a generation of followers, and you can tell who the followers are. You can just look who the followers are. Everybody all of a sudden has a Spider-Man avatar all of a sudden. They didn't give a shit about Spider-Man last week. Now everybody got a Spider-Man avatar. When Avengers came out, everybody had a Thanos avatar. You could tell who the followers are, man. And I'm not knocking it if you want to be a follower, but don't try to spread your misinformation.
Be honest about it.
Or do, who gives a fuck? But to try to sit here on Twitter, I've seen people try to argue He-Bot down on Twitter, and they're wrong about shit. One dude trying to say that this game looks better than Rise Center Rome, and just instead of just saying, dude, okay, we'll give you Xbox that Rise Center Rome was ahead. Like we talking about Shenmue, how Shenmue was ahead of his time, how Shenmue holds up better than Grand Theft Auto 3, where now the guy looks like he's got fucking lobster claws, and the cars look like God, I'm telling you, man, I've never seen a generation of people this stupid. So the fact that 100 is telling me this dude is sitting at Microsoft stole fucking the electric plug is beyond me. I just can't do it.
No, he was. He was so confident. Say you didn't know your stuff, you'd have thought that, like, huh?
Of course, yes.
I'm like, okay, but and I'm sitting here like, who? I didn't even want to go in the comment section because I was gonna say something. I was gonna write a novel. I was gonna write a straight up. Now you gonna call me John Wilder around this motherfucker? I was gonna write a motherfucking novel like, who in blue hell is? What the hell you talking to? What the fuck you on? I'm saying, like, who stole what? You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah, they
crazy.
came out with people don't understand. They came out with Blu-ray, but Microsoft owned part of that patent for Blu-ray.
No, oh,
But your favorite YouTuber don't want to tell you that.
yeah, hey Bone, they not gonna tell you that. It's a whole article on Blu-ray. Sony, and again, I would say it again. Sony did not come up with Blu-ray like people think they did.
It's called the
just had-
Blu-ray Group.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a bunch of them motherfuckers.
Bunch of do that. Sony just had the license right to put it in their console. They asked Microsoft.
I
they
did.
would- a Microsoft-
I did a video on that.
That's what these dudes. I had an argument with somebody at GameStop when the Xbox One was coming out. Oh, Microsoft got to pay Sony for the Blu-ray patent, and that's not what's in that. Like the fuck is you talking about? Sony Blu-ray DVD player is not even in the Xbox. Oh man, these dudes is funny, man. These
Hey,
dudes is
Flip, I did a video on my channel about. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yup.
No, I want to make sure Flip hears because it sounded like it was cutting off.
Oh no, I can hear you.
I did a video about that, about the difference with Blu-ray and where it came from versus HD. The high definition video was created by NEC and Toshiba, which was called HD DVD, and that's the one that Microsoft adapted during the 360 era. The difference was that they didn't put it in the console because it was too costly. So that's why they gave you the option for the people who are movie aficionados and gurus like me, E-Rock, or even, let's say, J-Long, or even 100, because he likes watching movies himself. Where you would buy it separately. It was like $180, $150, depending where you were at or where you lived. And you just added it on, and it worked perfectly. And the disc had two sides. One was the regular DVD for the people who wanted still a DVD format of it, and the other side was HD. And it was actually done with pop-up menus, interaction with the actual commentary, and some of the people that made the games through the online connection. And all that was not adapted by Sony because Sony didn't want to pay Toshiba or NEC any money. So what they did was they made a double dual layer disc that could have 50 gigs of storage as opposed to 25, which was which was HD at, right? And then they named it Blu-ray because it was a blue laser disc that they were using
versus the purple laser
versus the regular DVD, what they called the DVD 9 with the number 9.
Right.
And that's how they were able to get away with it and make it like it was their own technology, but it wasn't. It was just their interpretation of HD, which was horrible compared to HD was at the time. It grew and got a little better with time, but like the colors on it, the darks and the blacks weren't as vibrant and as deep and dark as HD. I did a whole video on it talking about it. If you're ever interested, but the research is there. Like if you go to Google it, it's all there. It explains to it and explains it. And the only reason Blu-ray stayed and became the prominent force, right, the dominant force, was because it was added on the PS3s. Because motherfuckers were buying PS3s just for the Blu-ray because it was the cheapest.
It was the cheapest Blu-ray out there
when it came out. By itself, it was $1,000. Some places got them for $1,200, as opposed to the HD was only $500. You see what I'm saying?
And don't forget, you know who actually? I'm sorry. You know who actually decided the end of that format war? It was going to be a moot discussion anyway because digital was coming. Digital was coming anyway. But with the side of the factor in that, I remember like it was fucking yesterday, man. 2008, Disney. That fucking Disney said that from now on, all of our movies, our classic libraries, and all the movies going forward are going to be on Blu-ray. That was it. That was it. Well,
hey, E-Rock, wasn't it Disney and Warner Brothers? Because I heard on Warner Brothers that
Warner Brothers was with HD. All their movies were exclusive. But once Disney made that announcement, E-Rock is 100% right. That was the nail in the coffin. Because remember, everybody wanted those Disney movies, and you were only able to get them in Blu-ray. And that was the biggest factor, you know. And it's up.
Noticed they was getting too powerful.
Yeah, that's right. But you know the problem is that was stupid. We show how stupid gamers were even at that point. Why wouldn't you pick the $150 add-on with the $290 console and get the better format that had the better quality? The only difference is that it was less space, so they would use the front and the back of the disc, as opposed to the Blu-ray. They only had one side because it holds 50 gigs on one side. That was the whole reason.
I do know that.
That was the whole. You understand what I'm saying, Flip? That was but then they learned how to compress it, and it didn't matter because then they were doing HD with one side only anyway. Because then they compressed the file, and what the compression did was, if the sound was compressed, you still got the same quality. The only difference is when you watched an HD movie, you had to put up the volume a little louder. When you watched it on Blu-ray, you just put it up a little bit and it would sound loud because it wasn't compressed, but it was the same quality. That was the only difference. So what ended up happening also was, that's why Kojima, for example, and Jake could attest to this because he knows, and I put that up, which was funny as hell, when they called us Xbot in an EGM magazine back then, trying to say, "Oh, sorry, you're not gonna get Metal Gear Solid because the consoles on the 360 not powerful enough." When that wasn't what it was. Kojima stated very clearly, "I want big, long cutscenes for in-game graphics to tell my story, and the only way I can do it without having to sacrifice having you to change the disc and take you out of the immersion, I had to put it on a Blu-ray disc because it holds all the files, and I could put it all in one disc as opposed to 2 discs." And that was the reasoning for it. And he could put them into the cutscenes. That was the whole reasoning behind that. And these motherfuckers try to say, "Oh no, because it was more powerful," when it wasn't. It just had more storage space without compression on the disc. But if you would have done it on Xbox HD, you could have still done it with a compressed file disc. It raised the volume. For example.
They got him.
They got him.
They got him.
Another
got
like open file, like open source with Blu-ray.
Yeah, I got him.
They got him. They got him.
I mean, I bought a whole bunch of Blu-ray discs, man. But when I discovered the Microsoft Store got the movies in 4K, and boom, it just zaps right onto your heart. That was a wrap, man. That I don't think I'll buy any more discs.
But that's compressed. I mean, what you talking about? Streaming or just downloading it?
Just downloading it.
Okay, because I'm like, when you stream it, it's compressed.
Oh yeah, I don't stream. I just like I buy the movies, man.
Okay, and just download it to the hard drive.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm
but people don't understand this too. Digital is the way to go.
Oh shit, you ain't
digital
lying.
is the way to go. Because I'll put this way, I probably got out of this generation, maybe 10 games, and some of the games I didn't intend to buy off of Amazon. I thought it was digital, but it was hard. It was a hard copy, and it came the next day. But I like the digital. I like the way I can sit down there and take it anywhere.
Man, you ain't lied.
You know what I'm saying? Look at even with music now. Who go buy a CD? I don't go buy no CD. I don't even go buy the CD.
Hold on, Bone. What you talking about? Bone, then that means I can't share with my friends. What do you mean? Going digital. I can't share with my friends.
I'm trying to share with
you can.
none of y'all motherfuckers.
We can't share together then, Bone. We can't share together then. What you mean?
I'm taking on this bed right now. I'm not sharing this shit with you.
You can share with one friend.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, yeah, you can game share, but you got to find out who you game share with. Like I had to disavow my own brother.
Well, yeah, it's true. But you can also do the stream sharing now on Mixer, and you could do it on PlayStation for a while.
Yeah. And then,
that little, it's probably not good, but it's something.
Oh, I want your opinion on this question.
Go ahead.
I got a question. This shit was appalled by me. I see a lot of y'all famous, not famous, but y'all YouTubers, y'all look up to that propaganda bullshit. I called shout out to my man, Mr. Keenum. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's still in the live chat. He shot this shit on Twitter, right? It didn't even show what it was. I just clicked on the link. And a Sony exec said that the reason they don't crossplay because the other consoles and PC will compromise their infrastructure, their internet infrastructure. When I saw that shit, I lost it. I ain't gonna lie. I said that was a video I used, motherfucker, bitch, all type of expletives. I was serious.
Okay.
And I was, like I said, I'm like, are you serious? So you're trying to say that Xbox and Nintendo and maybe Steam compromises you guys' network, where your network has been hacked and motherfuckers have lost millions and millions of dollars.
Their identities.
And Fortnite
Their
is the best
identities.
way to play is on PlayStation. So what you guys feel about that? I just wanted to throw that question out there.
You know, man, I've been saying since 2000 with Sony, and I've had the PlayStation 2, I had the PlayStation 3. I've been saying since 2000, Sony believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. These guys, like, they're the masters of bullshitting. They're the masters of lies. They're the masters of just. And what's even more crazy is nobody ever asks any questions. Generation after generation, nobody ever sits and says, this is a bunch of bullshit. Look, you could be the biggest Xbox hater out there. Even you have to admit that Microsoft has the best network. That's what they do. They've got the best network. They've got the best servers. They've got the best online service. It's been the known fact for some time now that Sony's online infrastructure is not great. They're always down. I mean, some of you PlayStation fans out there, y'all have had a blue screen on your TV for so long that y'all 720p TVs to burnt the fuck out. So it's like, are you? This man actually went up there and told those lies, and it's like, this is supposed to be Sony's new generation of leadership. It takes me back to. I'm gonna mention some names that maybe only Hebot and Jay Long, but maybe you guys remember it too. It takes me back to the days of Phil Harrison. It takes me back to the days of this dude named Kaz Hirai. It takes me back to the days when they would just go up there and lie to make themselves look good. Just say, look, man, our network ain't shit. Okay, just say your network ain't shit. And that's why all your games are single player experiences. That's why you don't have a whole bunch of online games. You're busy sitting running down Sea of Thieves. Motherfucker, your network can't run Sea of Thieves. Just say that your network is shit. But they go up there, 100, Hebot, Flip, J Long, they go up there, they tell these lies, and the audience eats it up. The audience praises them for lying to them. I said it before. I said it first on this podcast. PlayStation does not have customers. They have hostages. But they hostage. I have seen y'all. I've seen each one of y'all on this podcast question Microsoft when Microsoft wasn't doing right. Not turn against them or turn against them for clicks like some of these big YouTubers. Y'all ask questions. Like Flip just said, yo, man, where the fuck is Sam Fisher? I respect that. But to sit up here and just accept Sony's lies year after year, I can't figure it out. So I can't believe they went up there and lied like that. But what else would you expect from them at this stage? They basically told y'all, no, y'all not getting crossplay because the other guys' networks is going to fuck up our infrastructure. Like, what? I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words. This is baffling to me. How do these guys have their job?
I'm gonna say this. I'm appalled because 2000 and what's that? 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2009, 2010. My shit got hacked. Sony didn't tell nobody till 2 weeks later. My credit card information was on there. Where the hell did all these extra charges come from?
2011 for me. Mm-hmm.
So how exactly are you looking? Maybe he got a crystal ball and he looking into the future of what may come or something. I don't see it. All I know is my shit got hacked. Wasn't they network down a couple months ago? Wasn't it down last year?
It was down last week.
Last night.
I was trying to be nice, but since he said that, wasn't it down for like the last couple of years since the system been out? Wasn't it going down?
Every time you turn around, the blue screen.
So tell me exactly, in what point in time had this infrastructure had got better than Microsoft? I'll wait.
You're gonna be waiting decades, centuries.
Yeah. It'll be Cyberpunk 2077 by the time that is come.
Okay, the agent would have come out by then.
Man.
Shit.
Motherfuckers, man. Nah, I was
Yeah,
man. What you how you feel about that? Long?
I call bullshit on it because I was actually on PSN the other day with Hebon and Kalida. We were just talking in party chat, and the audio it pales in comparison to Xbox Live. Even inviting people is a lot more confusing than an Xbox Live. Like you have to click on their name and then do this and that. It's all jumbled up. The UI is terrible for party chats compared to Xbox, and obviously the hacking and whatnot. Even the speed on the console, like the megabytes on the console, it doesn't, or the bandwidth on the console, it's pales in comparison to the Xbox. And you know, obviously the controller, you know, if you really want to play online, that controller ain't for competitive gaming. And you know, for their exclusives, none of them really have a competitive scene. They had to buy Street Fighter to get a tournament game. Like, how often do you hear, "Oh man, I just got back from that Killzone tournament"? Never. With Uncharted, never.
Hey, J Long.
So you know,
why did they have to play Street Fighter tournament, switch it over to the 360, and they couldn't do it on the PlayStation 4?
There we go. There we go. That was part 4.
What was that?
they paid for a remaster of Street Fighter 4, and they couldn't even get that right. And people were trying to say, "Oh, it's Capcom's fault." Yeah, but freaking Sony okayed that. Sony, you know, paid Capcom to do that. So, you know, it goes back to Sony either way. Because the next gen port of Ultra Street Fighter 4 is exclusive to PS4. Even though it's just the same game. But, you know.
Yeah, that shit. Nah, that shit is crazy. It's get crazy. Like I said, these gaming streets be wild sometimes. And say, I've been gone for like the last. I'm just getting nips, and somebody like, "You hear about this?" I'm like, "Hear about what?" Oh, nah, ain't worth my energy. I'm trying to go home, man. Have me a beer and talk shit on Xbox for about 30 minutes before I go to bed.
That had me up on Xbox Live drinking my wine cooler. I don't care. It's a pussy drink, but I'm sitting there talking my shit with my wine cooler. This shit is preposterous. This shit is.
Wait, wine coolers?
Hell yeah.
Oh man. That was a shop at
they make wine coolers and now the flavor beers. I got a Smirnoff Ice. This shit got 8% in it. Screwdriver. I mixed that with some regular beer. Feeling good right now.
I got savagely attacked by the ponies. I'm back.
You know, we was wondering when he was going.
Nah, you were on PSN, bro. That's what happened.
That's right. That's right.
Superior network.
Yeah, so how you feel about that, Hebot?
Which part?
You know, my man Mr. Kino sent me a video. He had put something on Twitter, and I ended up just clicking on the link. And the Sony execs saying that they don't want to allow crossplay because it's going to compromise their network, and their network is superior from Nintendo, PC, and Steam.
You can't make it up. You can't make that shit up, dude. You can't. That shit is comical. How are you going to call out companies that they have inferior infrastructure that you can't jeopardize your people, your clientele, right? When you're the only company that got caught by getting hacked and having fraudulent accounts getting stolen, you know what I mean?
And real accounts getting stolen.
Like, how do you even have the audacity and the nerve and the courage to blatantly just say some dumb stuff like that? Listen, we get it. More like we want to continue the momentum of our sales because we haven't had anything else right now that's giving us the advantage. And if we take that advantage away by not having to force people to buy our console to play with their friends that are on our console already, because they could just play them on the Xbox or the Switch, then that means they're not going to go buy a PlayStation. That's really what they want to say. But, you know, nobody's going to say that. The media's not going to say that. They're not going to have the courage to put it out there. And that's exactly what it is. But, you know, thank God that we're here and we can call it out because we're not stupid. It's just blatantly obvious. You know?
They're going to kidnap Hebot again, watch. They going to get you again, dog.
They're going to get me again. I know. I got to live looking behind my shoulder out in these gaming streets, Flip. Every day.
Here, bro.
You gotta turn on
They
your
don't make
spidey sense.
mistake. Oh man, they gonna get you. Like what you said, they gonna bang.
Dude, that was the most pathetic answer I've ever heard in my life from any company. I mean, you've seen it all. It's almost as bad as when they said 1080p make you a better gamer, and now they're trying to make fun of the 4K. You know what I mean? It's bad, dude. This just you can't make that shit up. So, I mean, and you know what's the worst part? Like, we're really trying to call it out and say something as gamers because this is bad for gaming in general. You know, it's better if they just say, we don't want to do it because we don't want people to go buy other consoles. We want them to buy ours and only ours. I have more respect for you to be honest and just plain out saying that than lying about it, you know, because it just makes you look like a schmuck, not once, but twice, you know? So just be honest about this shit. We know that you're hemorrhaging money because you got problems with your movie edition, you got problems with your gaming division as a whole. That's why you can't fix your internet infrastructure that you promised a name change almost 2 years ago, you know, by Andrew House himself, and it still hasn't come. You know what I mean? They're still waiting on it. Oh, we're still working on it. Damn, how hard is it? How long does it take? You know what I mean? Especially these people are paying for their internet, and they're still using the service of PS3, and it acts like a PS3. Me and J-Long were trying to stream like 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Okay, Berserk. And it took us literally, I kid you not, it took us 10 tries to get it to work.
Yeah.
Almost 2.5 hours later, we finally got it to work. Okay? Because if it wasn't one thing, it was another thing. If it wasn't that our assholes weren't open enough to get fucked in the culo, it was that the controller wasn't working. Whatever the case may be. Okay?
It was
so
the network fucked up, and then Hiwa had to do some shit. And I say,
Yeah,
oh fuck.
Oh!
And then when we got it to work for like
Oh!
5 minutes, then it cut off, and then we had to do it all over.
Get this bullshit out, guys. You know how the Xbox, right? When you play it, and let's say you connect it wirely, right? Wireless or wired.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Right.
So you know when you connect it wired, it automatically detects that you have it wired. And then what it does,
Yep.
you either reboot it or you just like hope for the best, and it'll keep working, right? Even though it'll be a little shady, it'll kind of be iffy unless you reboot it. I rebooted the motherfucker and everything, and it still didn't work. And the reason for it is because it doesn't detect it automatically. You have to manually switch it in order for it to detect it, even if you put the wire in. You see what I'm saying? And that was the biggest problem that we couldn't figure out. You know?
Yeah.
So it's terrible. Like it's like the
No,
cloud
when
TV.
Hiwa went to the home screen, it just cut off
Yes.
the whole screen.
Yes.
Cut off the whole screen. Well, on
Yeah.
Xbox, you get the little house with the cat, that little animation thing.
Oh yeah.
And
You know how
it
you
if you
pause a
leave.
game? Yeah, you know how you pause a game on Xbox when you're mixing through Mixer or whatever, and it goes through
Yeah.
like a little saving screen where it shows you that you're paused or that you're waiting for it. On the PS4, if you stop and pause, it stops the whole stream. You got to start all over.
What?
You got to do it from scratch. Yeah. It
Well,
starts-
at least that's what happened to us. It might not. There might be a point. That's not how it is. That's what happened to us.
That's what happened to us several times, like 4 times, I think it was. I was like, damn, what the hell? And then, obviously the audio situation, unless you have a dedicated, a proprietary headset, you won't be able to hear the audio from both ears. You only hear it from one ear. That's another thing.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's really, really bad.
Yeah, mono fucking headset. Mono here. What the hell is that?
It's crazy. And again, that's not throwing shades. It's just the difference between when you play on the Xbox and streaming. Right. And the difference between playing on the PlayStation 4 and streaming there. Yeah, it's convenient because it goes right into YouTube and you don't got to upload it yourself. But
Yeah. That's the
again,
only good thing about it, really.
yeah, but then you got the benefits that if you upload it yourself, you can edit it. Like Mr. 100 said before, you can't edit anything you do on PS4. So if you make a mistake, you're fucked. You basically got to take down the whole video and start from scratch. That's the problem that I don't like about it either. I like having that option of being able to edit it, fix it before you upload it, even though it's more work, but it gives you the ability not to have to do it all over if you mess up. You know what I mean? Like, let's say your audio messed up for 2 hours or something, or for 15 minutes, you want to cut it out. You can't do that with that type of system, So yeah, that's comical in itself. But you know, the ponies to not to keep being long-winded, but the ponies themselves are not going to say nothing. They're allowing you. They're like, oh, we don't need crossplay. It's not the point. Maybe you don't need crossplay, but others do, or others want it. So you got to think about your whole audience, not just a specific part of your
Yeah.
audience. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
very
But he
anti.
bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he bought. Okay, with crossplay, right? Perfect example, right? I'm friends with people that straight, PlayStation guys,
I
right?
know you are.
What's coming out? What's coming out? We call that shit Soul Calibur.
Battlefield,
The new
Soul
Soul Calibur,
Calibur.
right? So what if they get their team
Mhm.
against my team,
Xbox team against a PlayStation team. Right. I follow.
and
I
we
follow
and
you.
we all can stream it on Twitch,
Mixer. Yeah. Got you.
Mixer, whatever. Do it. You want to capture everything. To me, that's competitive gaming.
Yeah.
New gaming.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%.
No one wants to, you know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing able to talk to you and talk shit to you while I'm kicking your ass. You know what I'm saying? My team's kicking your ass. That's all. That's the only thing. I want voice communication.
100. I'm 100% with you. What about doing tournaments for football? What about you do a Xbox football game against a PlayStation team and Madden? You could do a tournament. You could even do a tournament for money.
Yeah.
And have a little fun with it. You know what I mean?
So you don't want to show no love.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So no one want to show no love, because I have people like, man, I love the cross. I wish Sony would do it, and they die hard PlayStation.
Right. But this is the problem. They think that we're doing it and calling it out because we're trying to hate. They don't get that it's the principle of the situation. This opens up the doors for many different opportunities, you know?
But how is that hating? Explain that to me. How is that hating? I don't understand.
I was trying to play with y'all hating. We're trying to play with you.
Because they're trying to say that we're hating on the PlayStation brand because we want we want people to go buy. No, here, Flip. Listen, they want us to. What they think in their mind is that we want people to go buy Xbox and Switches instead of buying PlayStation 4s. They're really that petty and shallow that that's what they think in their mind. You see what I'm trying to say? They don't understand that that's not what we're saying at all. Why the fuck should you have to go buy another console to play with your boys if the same game that's multi-plat and the same game that has an infrastructure that's set up that you can have that open source, right, can be played on either console that you own? Why can't you do that?
Yeah. Like, I don't like soccer cards. But if somebody wanted to play soccer cards on Play Get Some Box, why they can't do it?
Right.
I'm like, why you can't do it? I'm not playing soccer cards. They can give it to me for free. And I still
even
ain't buying
fucking
it.
100, even Nintendo adapted because Nintendo knows that this is good for the future and the industry. It's gonna move it forward. This has nothing to do about who sells more consoles. You ain't listen.
Yep. You want to know what's ridiculous about that, man? Nintendo, they're the type of people who go, oh, if you freaking show a level of Zelda, you're ruining our sales and you're hurting our sales.
Right.
You do a positive review of Zelda and you're not IGN or you're not GameSpot, they'll take down that review, or they used to do that, or they demonetize your video because you show gameplay and you're taking away sales. They are adapting to crossplay. Because you got Sony, who is supposedly for the players, for the gamers, not doing so. Nintendo is the most backwards, feudal Japan, old school, my way, or the highway type company, and they're adapting.
Listen, Nintendo, the reason why Nintendo has always been able to stay around this long is because they're not stupid. When they know they have to change, they change. You see what I'm trying to say? Maybe people didn't agree with the changes they've done through the years, but they've always changed enough to keep the fans and the loyalists intrigued, to keep them afloat. You see what I'm trying to say? So Nintendo's not stupid. They see the mind share and the changes is coming. It may not be overnight, maybe in the next 10 years, maybe 5, but they're not stupid. That's why they've managed to stay alive. Okay? And the same thing's going to have to happen with everybody else, whether it's Sony or whether it's Apple. If they want to get in the video game industry, you got to come in this industry like Microsoft, trying to do whatever needs to be done to change with the times and evolve games. Because if you don't, you'll become irrelevant real fast. We all know this. It happened to Sega because of being stubborn with their Japanese ways, and their own fucking Japanese company and corporation or branch sabotaged the American one because they were having more success than Japan. Who the fuck does that shit?
Crazy. That's crazy.
You know, Sega Forever, big shout out to him because he's in the room now. He can detest for this. They sabotaged their own company because it was embarrassing the Japanese branch because they were having more success in America. Who
Bernie
the fuck
Stolar.
does that shit?
Bernie Stolar, the guy before him, had their hands. It was a losing battle before he even got started. Everybody thinks
Crazy.
Sega crushed. PlayStation crushed the Dreamcast. You know, that's not how it happened. Sega collapsed with it.
Yeah. But Sega was, you know, they did, well, the Sega at that point did the smart thing. They put a whole bunch of exclusives with PlayStation and a whole bunch of exclusives, obviously, with OG Xbox. But the difference is, like I tell people, Microsoft had to pay for those exclusives. PlayStation didn't have to pay. They just put it there because of the market share, because it was popular in Japan. They put their games there freely, like they're doing now, like with Yakuza, and like with games like from Atlas, you know, that they do together. Fist of the North Star, exactly. They didn't. Microsoft, when people go up, and Microsoft should try to make you know what they call that, like a friendship with that market. Microsoft pays their money to put their games on their console. What more way to make friendship with anybody than paying fucking green dollars? That shit don't make no sense to me. You know what I mean? So, you know, you could go with the bullshit wherever you want to go. Those are just the facts. It's not the same thing. It's not all as simple as black and white. Go fuck yourself. Anybody that says that shit, you could tell right there they have no history about gaming. They're just followers, like E-Rock so eloquently put it. But, yeah, you know, that's neither here. That's my point on it. That's my view on that shit.
Yeah. Sega Forever's here?
Yeah, he's in.
No,
he's in the
Sega,
room.
what's been on your mind? Sega, go tell the world, Sega. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I was listening. I was out, and I decided to come in because if you guys allow me at the end of the show, I could talk to you guys about the program at the Microsoft store. So I have one near my house about how you get the Xbox One X or Xbox One S. I can talk about that later, so.
Damn right, we'll let you talk about it.
Go on, preach, brother. Preach.
Oh, but I listened to what you guys were saying about the whole puddle thing, which I thought was really funny. The only thing I have a problem with is people on our side that says, what's the big deal about it? It really isn't a big deal. But the problem for me is that this was such a big deal earlier in this generation where PvP and PvP made such a big difference. And that's why you're getting the blowback that you are getting. I mean, and the people, even on our side, like they say, we need to move on. Well, we'll move on when this stuff finally dies. But until then, it is what it is.
That's right.
And as far as the whole Sony thing, I got a little bit different take on it, man. You guys might disagree with me or not. I don't care about crossplay. I've said this before. Right. If I want to play with Sony guys, I'll go buy a PlayStation.
That's right.
So that's why one of the reasons why I don't own a PlayStation is because I had so much problems with their network. And I just realized myself as a gamer and why I tend to go more towards Xbox is because I do a lot of multiplayer online. Now. My kids do a lot of multiplayer online. So for me, Sony's not where it's at with that kind of stuff. I can kind of understand why they're doing what they're doing because number one, they have more console units sold, right? They've never lied about this to anybody, dude. Sony's been doing this. Me, He-Bot, E-Rock, most of us on this panel, we're older. We understand how Sony is, how they think. You know, they've done this stuff since the 90s. Sony does what Sony wants to do. Is it consumer? I hear somebody says it's not consumer friendly and whatever like that. Like if you're a gamer like us, you make your choices at the purchase, right? You decide whether you're going to pick up the console. You decide if you want to play the games. The problem is that nobody really plays games anymore, and everybody just gets involved in all this drama trash, right? For their YouTube channels, for their clicks. I mean, one of the kind of cool things I've noticed. I mean, I've been kind of out of the loop because, like E-Rock said earlier in the podcast, I've been like E-Rock. I've been actually playing games.
Yeah.
Man. And I've noticed like most of the guys that I hang around with, man. Like Jay, I know you've not been around. I know all of us got something going on with our families and stuff like that. But kind of the cool stuff is that a lot of us have been kind of playing games. That's what I've noticed on my feed. That's what I've been noting on people's YouTube channels. They've been posting up gameplay. Especially with Game Pass and backwards compatibility, and with the ID at Xbox program kicking off. I mean, they've got ID at Xbox program games that are on the level of AA, AAA title, not AAA, I'd say, but AA titles that we played when we was growing up.
That's right.
So, for me personally, man, I mean, Sony they made their bed and they're gonna lay on it. But more importantly, dude, it's not really Sony's fault, dude. It's the gamers. If you guys are upset about not being able to play Fortnite, right? Which E-Rock said E-Rock made an excellent point, man, on the Dragon X podcast, or was that the Dragon X E-Rock, where you talked about this,
Yes.
man. It basically boils down to the gamers, dude. If you guys made that choice in the beginning, you guys should have looked at what Sony was about, what Xbox was about, and what Nintendo was about. Purchase the console of your choice, and then right then and there decide what you're gonna do. Because PlayStation's never have a good network. They're more of the only reason they're like the multiplayer person now is because they have so many units that they have all the normies, all the casuals play on this console. And casuals play Call of Duty, they play all these multiplayer games. This is why their network is always in the news, because it's always going down. It's always going down.
The ones that buy just to play with their friends because they have it.
Yeah, and that's
exactly,
why
you're exactly right.
And that's why E-Rock was saying, man, and we talked about this too. That's why this stuff's not going away, because what they did was, it's like Marvel, dude. It's like when people get pissed off about Marvel stuff, it's because a lot of normal people watch. You know, like I know E-Rock, like to me, I'm a comic book guy. I watch DC, I watch Marvel. Looking forward to all the movies coming out. If you like comic books, you watch everything. The problem with the gaming thing that Sony has is that everybody plays Fortnite. So this isn't like the Master Chief Collection, or this isn't like God of War, man. I got my nieces and nephews who don't even play games, but they play Fortnite. They play Fortnite on everything. They play Fortnite on their phone. I saw my little niece. This girl is like young, and she's like doing this stuff with her phone that I was amazed by playing Fortnite. And she's talking to her cousins who's upstairs playing on an Xbox. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Fortnite's the new Flappy Bird. Sega Forever's the new Flappy Bird.
Damn, you're right.
So that's what these guys. That's what Sony's dealing with. That's why this stuff's not going to go away. And you know what? I'll give Sony kudos, because they just said what all of us know. What E-Rock said earlier in the podcast was how Sony really feels. They finally just owned up to it. They should have done it from the beginning, because we all sitting here knowing this. We've known this for like 20, 30 years. That's just how Sony is. They do.
They love to give the middle finger. That's right.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. And then you have a gaming community who's complicit, because they never complain when Sony does this stuff. And then you have a media for clicks, or because they're biased, never complain. So this is where we are now. And it took something like Fortnite to change the narrative, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, but I don't put this way. Everybody don't play. I'll put this one. I don't. I'm a PUBG. I'm a Pub Jesus guy. Hell the Pub Jesus. I bow to Pub
Jesus.
But out of Pub Jesus and Fortnite cost me a whole lot of money. And if you know me, my son didn't hit my bank account. If you know, it was an accident. On my accident, kick your ass. But that's me as a parent. That's my fault. My fault. I had to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you're not the only parent doing that, dude. I have to parents are literally every day going and checking their accounts. I guarantee you. Looking for charges.
Man, but you know what? You know, saying I just told them, if you ask me, most of them I give. You know what I'm saying? If I got it, I got it. I'm like, man, you know, you just went back to school. You know, your mom just got a new job. I need to get my. You know, we gotta work together. You ain't got no job. When you're here with me, I can't even tell you to empty out the trash. But when you get up, it's on Fortnite. I'm like, what you playing this for? And I had to think about it. You know how I guess I'm getting old and showing my age. When we was in school, we had to have the latest shoes, Jordans, clothes, all type of stuff. That's what they're doing in the interweb space now. They got to have it. So if their friend got this new console, got this new clothes, and they might grind and got it. They might grind their ass off to get it. But you guess what the companies do? Make it easy for you to buy it. You ain't got to grind for it. See, DLC is not for us. DLC is for the casuals, the kids. We will wait. Trust me, I have waited on DLC like a month. Hey, the only DLC I bought this generation, I bought day one, was Hot Wheels. I bought Hot Wheels. Other than that, I ain't bought. Nah, I wait. You know what I'm saying? Because as gamers too, we can be impatient. I will wait, especially if I ain't got time to play it anyway.
Exactly.
So I'm
I've been seeing these sales, man. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And I do it. I got bad games on all 3 consoles.
Man, and see, that's our problem. We gamers, and we buy them, and we see if it's a good price. Like, I buy games, and it's like, well, for that price? Buy.
And Game Pass is making it worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got that to play.
Yeah, Game Pass, man. That just took off.
I'm really just using it for exclusives because I don't have time for the other games.
Yeah. Game Pass is making you second guess if you should buy a game right away or not.
Oh no, hang on.
I actually wanted to buy Game Pass, but that's right there. I just bought Injustice, and isn't that on Game Pass?
Yeah, no, I have done that. Yeah. I think I bought. Hang on, what I buy? And it went on Game Pass the next day. I bought The Witcher. The motherfucker went on Game Pass the next. The only thing I couldn't get mad because of.
Wait, The Witcher?
The Witcher went on Game Pass.
Oh, Witcher.
Yeah. The Witcher. I think the regular Witcher, Witcher 3.
Witcher 2?
Yeah, Witcher 2.
When?
Wow. Oh, Witcher 2. It's one of the Witchers. One of the Witchers. I don't know. One of the Witchers went on Game Pass, and I bought it.
That's funny. That's funny.
The next day, it went on Game Pass.
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's okay. Video game lover, what's the question you want to ask? Ask the question. You know, Hebot don't like you.
The biggest fan.
I bet he don't.
Hebot was respectful to him at that Berserk stream.
Yeah, I try.
So what's your question, video game lover? Because you ain't playing no video games, because you always show up to the show and talk shit. What's your motherfucking question? I'm gonna turn to Jim Rohn in a minute.
What do you say? Y'all some bums.
Man, we a bunch of bums. So what's your question? If we bums, what's your question?
Yeah, that's not a question. And if we're bums, what the fuck are you doing?
What's your avatar?
If you listen to us and play Persona 5, do your thing, man. But don't ask them no question. Come on, one ask. Come on, you missed the penis demon.
He just
cares. I had a
for
question for you, video game lover. Do you even have Persona 5? I got it. I beat it. Did you beat it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I doubt it.
That was the question.
Okay, he said, give me how the media is biased. Give him an article. You just got caught. Motherfucker plagiarizing. That's all I'm gonna say, but I gotta check up my meat. Y'all go handle that.
The puddles, bro. The puddles right there. They're trying to make that people focusing on small details, to be that's silly people focusing on small details. Yeah, they were reporting on next gen smoke and next gen gas.
Yeah, a lot of things. What about the GTA situation with the grass? Where they were making fun of that.
I was about to say that. Like,
here you go.
One got more blade gas than
batteries. When that
the batteries.
About the batteries, dude. I was like, what?
The one about the fucking power brick, about not having a saving, an energy saving feature. The one about the games are 900p as opposed to 1080p.
Can't find the settings.
1080p makes you a better gamer, dude. All you have to do is Google it, and you'll find all the differences. Look at Forbes magazine talking about how the Xbox One S is not a better console or better buy than the original Xbox. You can't make that shit up.
You also got the treatment of Tomb Raider. You got the treatment of Tomb Raider and Street Fighter 5. Tomb Raider gets announced as an exclusive. All hell breaks loose. You got pictures of like Naomi Kyle acting all mad and scoffing. And then when Street Fighter fucking gets announced as an exclusive, she's there doing the Hadouken with Ryu. No questions were asked. None of that shit. No developers were harassed.
It was okay. It was okay because Sony paid for it. They didn't think that it was okay for Microsoft to pay.
Eva, I got one for you right here. This is the ultimate one here. Here you go. Microsoft talks about TVs and movies. Oh, we don't want that shit. Fuck that. I don't want that shit. Don't you talk about it the next year. The next year. Yay! Everybody, you even had somebody on IGN said, that's why y'all got Microsoft for that.
You know what's really bad about that, bro? That me and Hebot could defend that better than the Sony guys. Like, Hebot had a conversation about that, but the people was like cheering about Sony doing that kind of stuff. Then you ask them why they were happy, and we all know it's because Xbox, right? It's just to get over on Xbox. Me and Hebot talked about this, and we're like, you know what? It makes sense because Sony is a company that's an entertainment company.
That's right. They're a movie company.
That's what they're built on. They're a movie company. They're an electronics company. But none of the ponies could give us that. None of the Sony guys could give us that explanation. That's why it would be a good thing to do that.
Well, I remember that we were supposed to get a TV show through Xbox, right? It was going to be TV shows of different games like Rise, one for Dead Rising, one for, Halo. And guess what? The only company I know this generation that got a TV show was PlayStation. It was called Powers. They had 2 seasons, and then they used PlayStation View as a format to push that show.
Yeah.
But yet it's Xbox that was about TV and entertainment. Yeah, listen.
That's what I don't understand. I don't get that one right there, yo.
The hypocritical bullshit from the beginning. Hang on, we got certain individuals out here in these gaming streets. Say, Microsoft did the wrong way when they was talking about TV. Ain't that all Sony talking about?
Yeah.
PlayStation View, where Microsoft was already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
That
was something you had to buy separate. Now it wasn't built in the console already.
Hold on. Hey, 100. So you're telling me if Sony would have talked about it first before Microsoft, it would have been okay?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Not only would it be okay, dude, it would have made perfect sense because that's their
right.
real, like I said.
That's right. It's what they do. That's right.
Wow.
But not even the Sony guys could come back with that because they just hate Microsoft. It wasn't even about Sony going in the direction that's natural for them to go into. It was about that Microsoft had it and they hate Microsoft, so they hoped it failed.
That's right. Well, look at their movies. Look at their games. How they advertise their games. Every game they advertise it like a movie. The structure of the trailer is like a movie because that's what they specialize in. That's what they do. That is their specialty. They're a movie division as well as video games. And that's what people tend to forget. And so when you look at it, oh my God, look at it, look like a movie. Yeah, of course it is because it's more 90% of the game. Usually it is a movie. Look at Detroit. Look at Until Dawn. The proof is right there.
That's why the Spider-Man controversy, it doesn't surprise me because Sony's done that before with their other game trailers. But because a lot of us have a background in, we watch a lot of movies. We consume pop culture. There's a lot of movie studios that do that.
Yep.
They'll do a trailer and then some of the stuff won't be in the trailer.
That's right.
Not the trailer. That's what Sony, in a sense, man, that's kind of how they sell their stuff. I'm not saying it's right to do that.
That's right.
But that's just the way it is.
That's what they do best. You can't hate them for it. That's what they do. That's absolutely what they do. Yeah. So that was the question right there?
Man, I guess that was
a hell of an answer. Shit.
Yeah. So hope he shut the fuck up.
Microsoft doesn't do what? What does Microsoft do? Video gamer.
Video gamer's a harmless person. He's not a bad kid. He's just a follower. He's young. You can't blame him.
He's young and dumb and full of cum. You know what I'm saying?
Go
get your ass off and go. Yeah,
release
go
yourself.
That's true. That's absolutely true. He is young and dumb.
It's not his fault. It's his lack of experience. It's not his fault.
I'm not mad at it.
No.
Hey, you're gonna be somebody one day.
Yeah, hey, video gamer, you can be here, man. But what's your point, dude? What are you trying to say? That's all we ask.
He don't know what he's trying to say. He's just trying to make chaos. I already deal with a chaos every night. I don't want to deal with it.
Oh boy.
So we got Tuck Master in this mug.
Oh, Tuck!
Hey, what's up, Tuck?
Tuck, where you at?
Hello, Tuck Master.
Here, Tuck.
He already got vaporized by the ponies. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he didn't take his. I told him he didn't take his vitamins today. Told him to take his Ovaltine.
This Ovaltine.
He didn't take his Ovaltine.
Who the heck mentioned my name?
They let you out.
He's back.
I heard you.
The Pownies. Don't talk about the Pownies.
Nah, but the way I feel about it, fella, I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? Now, I'm like this. I'm an older guy, and I don't give a damn about a Sony, and I don't give a damn about it at all. Like I said, I tried that shit in the PS3. Fuck it. After that, I'm Xbox for life. The only thing that I gotta say, fellas, is that you think of this generation, everybody wants to say this generation's over with. It's just now starting. Okay, when the good thing about Xbox, we won't be left behind. When the PS5 come out, whenever that shit come out, who knows? You don't know if they're gonna be left behind or not. They might be left behind. I'm just telling the truth. So hey, it's a win-win for Microsoft either way it goes.
Good point. Good point.
So it's just that way. As far as the TV aspects of it, I'm loving it. I mean, hell, I can hook my damn cable box into my Xbox. If that's the TV that they're talking about, so be it. I don't have to worry about that bullshit ass V or whatever they call that bullshit service at all. And then another thing I got to say too. Keeping it real, Sony is just blah 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 blah. A lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of lies, and that's it. They tell you what they want to hear. They tell you what the people they want to hear. Then what they do, they just ram them they just ram them in the ass. That's all it is to it.
Damn.
I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, everybody. This is Sony's MO. This is Sony's MO.
I'm not fucking with Chuck Master. I'm not fucking with Chuck Master.
That's his MO. That's his MO.
I mean,
he don't give a fuck.
I mean, it just don't make no doggone sense. I mean, and then they want to talk about. Then you got these Sony fans talking about the Xbox All Access. Well, that's not a good point. That's the man, dude. If Sony was doing that crap, how they be loving that crap?
Them damn pom-poms here high as hell.
Dude, you can go to the Microsoft store and get a console, pay $35 a month or either $25 a month. It all depends on which console you want to buy. Man, dude, that's a win-win situation for the Xbox people, period. EA Access, I mean, the Game Pass, a Plus, they down that. Xbox making money on that, on hand and foot.
Backwards compatibility, man. Being able to play the games you already own, they try to downplay that shit.
Yeah, they try to downplay.
Nobody want to play no old game. Y'all want to play old games?
Hell the fuck yeah, I do. I want to play all of them.
I mean,
I think I forgot about 3 on fucking.
There's a lot of games I didn't get to play. Shit, I want to play.
Right.
Hang on. Also, I call it density. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can call it destiny. I call it density. They giving that shit away right now, right?
Nobody playing it. That's why that new DLC coming out.
Hang on, but think about it, you got to pay up to. I know people that's diehard density fans, and they got
already $20.
And yeah, that's $120 out your pocket. So
right.
You getting it for free? You're paying for 2 games. And you see it, and you got people. Xbox is giving. When you give away something that's free, they don't have to do that. Shit is free. FREE. I pay for Microsoft services. I don't pay for the games. If I get them, I get them. It's a lot of free games I ain't downloaded.
Yeah, it's true.
Most of them because I have them already. Shit, but I don't. What's that? Prison Architect. I already got it. I don't even play the shit. I had to go. I'm gonna have to take a soul search this tomorrow. Like, I don't play this shit. I'm not gonna play this shit.
Right.
It's like
But
I
the
got
ones
five-
the ones you get from 360, you actually keep. You don't even need gold to have them. They're yours forever.
Yeah. And like I said, when Modern Warfare 3 came out, oh Lord, that man, I ran through that motherfucker like a fat kid love cake.
Hey, He-Bot, what's the name of that? What's the name of that they shooter that they just put on the Game Pass?
Which one, puppy?
That shooter, that arcade shooter.
Well, this month in the Game Pass, you're getting Quantum Break, the Master Chief Collection, Onrush. It's a lot.
Onrush, what?
Some other
Onrush. Onrush coming to Game Pass.
They need to do freaking Forza 7 on Game Pass.
It'll probably come too eventually.
It's gonna come.
Oh my god!
Now, this is the reason I don't think Forza is day one Game Pass. They want to pay for that all that money they pay for all them damn car licenses.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to disturb y'all. Every once in a while, I go to the live chat to see the tomfoolery that goes on in here. This is the misinformation and the stupidity I'm talking about. You got some fool in the comment section talking about some Xbox has no exclusives. Like,
oh my god!
And I'm looking at the Japanese avatar here, and that explains the stupidity. But can somebody, He-Bot, can you explain? The Xbox has no exclusives.
If Xbox ain't got no exclusives, his mom's ain't got no ovaries, and he shouldn't be here right now.
Yo, he out of pocket.
You know what? I got a good omen for that. Okay, now a couple months ago they talking about Xbox don't have no Japanese RPGs. Microsoft has shut their damn mouths on that damn crap. They can't talk about that no more. So what they gonna talk about now? We still don't got no exclusives. Oh my!
Listen,
God.
if you can't play Xbox games on a PS4 or a Nintendo Switch, what the fuck is it called? Because don't go tell me you're gonna go buy a PC that's gonna cost you $1,500 just so you can play something in 4K over a $500 console. You're full of shit. Okay.
I got the preach right now. Is it Sunday today? That used to be a preacher. I got the preach.
Well, you want to preach? Go ahead and preach it, baby. Go ahead and preach it.
Your ass talking about buying $1,500 a damn desktop, right? What about the free Seek monitor that costs more than that shit? That's another $1,000. That's streaming 4K.
Yo, you motherfucker! Yo, your anime.
That's what I'm trying to say. You can go run talking about PC. You need Windows to run PC. Ain't nobody running 4K on Linux.
That's wrong.
On iOS.
100. You can't think that far, dog. You can't say that. They don't know that. They don't know that. See, that's the funny thing about it. And He-Bot know this. The older gentlemen know this. They don't know that Microsoft, when the Windows came up and introduced Windows made it more easier for games to run up.
That's right. Because it was too complicated. Everything else.
Tell them stuff like that, Bone. See, telling them that his brain might explode and stuff. Dog, don't do that, man.
I got to educate them off. I got to educate them off the bullshit.
Not a baby.
Just because you got a $1,500 rig, you can have a $12,000 PC. You got a $12,000 monitor? How are you playing these games?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What kind of? Are you using a Ryzen chip? Or are you using an
Listen, just to get an ultra wide 4K TV monitor that's LG brand.
Oh no,
it's $1,300.
This dude told me the other day he had the audacity to mess with me. Almighty 100. Had to say, hey, I play on my 65-inch Samsung TV. Motherfucker, I don't want to play on no I don't want no rig in my motherfucking bedroom. I'm trying to hit a button. Ding ding. That's all I want to hear. Ding ding or doo doo. That's all I want to hear. I sit in front of a computer screen. I'm looking at a computer screen right now.
Yeah, because it's more convenient to put a heavy ass, clumsy ass tower than a little box.
I have a 7-point round system, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to just sell it, because I don't need it, because I have headsets that push that shit now. I have gaming headsets. So you guys
Dude,
want to go off of it? They're not. PC is not the way. You know about drivers? You know how to go find them? Do you know how to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, overclock. A lot of these people rigs, they know how to overclock. You can overclock it and kill you. You can overclock your shit.
But the other shit. Because they're going to try to say 800. They're going to try to say, oh, the drivers, most software in the games look for them themselves. Yeah, but if your computer is not compatible, like whatever specs you have with certain drivers, guess what? It doesn't work until you either make it compatible or get other drivers.
If I go put a what's that? The new video joint in there, right? So say I have an Asus. I have an Asus motherboard, but then video card in there that nobody can max out yet. Where the fuck I'm gonna get this performance from? Unless I know what the fuck I'm doing.
These guys in the comments are like, oh, why don't you name me the exclusives? All right, this year, Sea of Thieves, Daily K2, Forza Horizon. You know,
Ashen.
It's as simple as that.
Ashen.
Is Ashen coming this year?
We happy. What's that? We happy.
That's multiplayer.
Yeah, but it's multiplayer because Microsoft allowed it to be multiplayer. That's why.
Yeah, I forgot.
They don't understand that concept either. Like just like Minecraft, they allow it to be multiplayer. They can make it exclusive if they want to. Really. If they want to, they can.
Aren't they still in the contract by Gearbox? I think that's why.
Dude, put it this way: all those 5 million plus God of Wars that sold, Microsoft made money out of all of them because it supports Havoc and it supports Simply Gone. So good for you guys to support us too.
So they support us in our comment section instead of playing games, bro. His name's Video Game Lover, yet he's more of our lover. He's a lover of podcasts because
he's a lover of the podcast members.
He's podcast lover, bro, because he's always on podcast.
Hey, fella, I want to ask you one question about God of War from number one.
I'm following you.
Is there any download content that's supposed to be coming out to that game anytime soon?
No. Thank God, no.
Have anybody even talked about it?
No, they said no.
So what the hell are we talking about God of War for again? I mean, God of War is a piece of shit. Once you play it done, Spider-Man will be the same damn way.
Dude, even if Tuck, look, even if God of War is obviously the best game they have pretty much this generation, right? Even if this is, that's one game. Most people ain't gonna buy a console for one game. And if you do,
they're stupid.
And if you do, you seriously have a problem.
Yeah, you know what? And like you said, there's a lot of people that does that, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. Dude.
Hey, you know what? That I'm gonna go out there and buy a PS3 just to play God of War.
They had the cookie big.
Or play anything else, in the junk ass system.
Look, people like me and Jay Long play God of War. We beat God of War. Well, me, I'm almost at them, but I basically haven't gone back because I don't really care for it. It's boring to me. But I can beat it if I want to. And I'm going to do that just so that people won't say I didn't beat it because I know they're going to call me out on it. But I see my sons beat it already.
Wow, you're not really talking to a pony until they bring sales. It's not a real fucking conversation until they bring sales.
That's okay. Listen, what does it matter? Go ahead.
You got 80 million, but why you ain't got at least fucking 50 fucking million of fucking PSN?
Guys.
I can do it.
CFP is so well, though.
Yeah, it did very well.
It's not just the sales, it's the engagement, dude. There's a lot of people on my timeline still playing that game.
Yeah, that game's sold.
Anything that come out of anything. I'll put this way. We got a hood every week. They say Sea of Thieves. I'm like, Sea of Thieves. Now, I'm the only one, you know what I'm saying, I should have copyrighted it. I'm the only one to get drunk on the boat and get drunk in real life.
And everybody want to use it. Now, everybody want to use it.
They want to use it, but they don't think about it. No, I ain't played Sea of Thieves in a minute because I play Sea of Thieves out.
Look, hold up, E-Rock, what was you about to say?
Now, the thing is how you shut these guys up. And what we usually do on the other podcasts, we have a moderator.
That's
idiots, but they don't have anything. These fools are constantly always about facts. Podcast. Yet every year we're getting games like CSC, State of the Game,
Ice Cream,
which outperform the projection. And what are here's the thing. Before y'all bring up y'all next thing about Xbox games is on PC, like y'all forget about PSN now. Don't forget about PlayStation now. You
that's available on PC. Exactly.
All of that stuff
It's available on my TV.
on PlayStation now in the next year, like it's hilarious to and to finish this. Yes, if you never get your avatar or Spider-Man, you're a follower. So I mean, this.
Yep. Well, if it's Spider-Man, all of a sudden, if you had a Spider-Man gamer pick years ago, all right. All of a sudden, you're doing this, like, come on.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is always garbage because it's a movie tie-in game. Yet the game has nothing to do with the movie except the costume and the title.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they tell us about DLC earlier. No shit.
Right.
State of K did the same thing. I don't see nobody jumping. Come on. See, think about this. They don't know. And see, y'all got to quit following that y'all want to be you famous YouTuber that's giving you all that propaganda. Because I be hearing, like I say, I see from afar. I don't interact with certain shit.
Well, all I know is that you could go to CFDs right now in State of Decay and you're always going to find a lot of people playing. You're not going to find that in God of War because it's already done. Once you beat it, you can't go back. You're right, exactly.
One and done. They are a college basketball player, one and done.
Oh.
That's what they are.
And see, there's another thing I don't like. This is one thing else I don't get about people either, man. I mean, they just say, we don't want the multiplayer and the single player experience. Sometimes we just want a single player experience. I'm saying, why? You don't get no value for your game. Once you're done, you're done.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like they can have the single player, Chuck. The problem is that they only have that. They don't have a single player with multiplayer. They don't have a single player campaign that you could actually play co-op with your friend. Right now I can play any one of you guys in Gears through the campaign or in Sea of Thieves, in their campaigns like a section or whatever. Or Halo or in State of Decay's campaign style.
State of Decay, Forza Horizon.
Exactly. You can play it by yourself, but you can also play co-op online through a campaign or competitively. That's the difference. They don't have none of that shit.
But that's what I'm saying, but I don't get why people just say, well, they want a game for the single player experience. Dude, you don't want that. You want more value for your buck. If you pay $59 for a game, you want more value for your buck. I mean, you got these other people out here saying, well, we just want the single player experience. I mean, you can have the single player experience, the multiplayer experience. You can have co-op with Xbox and everything.
Right. And that's what we try to say when we say multiplayer. When we say multiplayer, they think we're just saying, oh, we just want to play competitively. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about everything. We got multiplayer. We got co-op multiplayer campaign. We got single player experiences. I could play Gears by myself or with you guys in the campaign. Or in multiplayer. Or in horde mode. You see, none of their games have that. And if they do, they're tacked on. They feel fucking cheap. They feel like it would just put their, to have something extra really cheaply made. And they're not robust or any fun for that matter.
That's what I say, bro. I mean, I'm so glad these guys were around back in the 90s, dude. This industry would have died with the way these people...
Yeah, you're right.
Died, dude. They would have died. We wouldn't have these people back then. We played everything.
That's right.
Because it was the experience that we cared about. Multiplayer, single player. But the thing that the thing that people got to realize though is the industry is changing. Fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, I think there are always going to be a place for single player games, but
Part 2.
It's just there's more value, like everybody's saying. There's just more value with multiplayer.
I mean, like I said, I don't mind having a single player experience. But darn,
you hear me?
If I had a single player experience and have multiplayer and have everything along with it,
Best of both worlds, man.
I'd rather have that.
Yeah, that's what Microsoft is doing, dude.
Yeah, man. I heard someone go, Spider-Man's a single-player game. Forza Horizon 4 is a multiplayer game. I barely play multiplayer on Forza.
Yeah, it has a career mode. It has a single-player career mode.
What, 20, 30 hours at least? They're like 20 hours at least. And people are,
Yeah, that's because you're a fanboy. That's because you're a fanboy.
Fanboy.
Well, it's like what y'all just said. The best of both worlds. You got a single player and you have a multiplayer.
And man, and it just kills me how people really just have that one-sided mind. I mean, I don't understand it.
Look, Microsoft is one of those companies, dude. They want to give everybody everything. They
Right.
truly are. Yeah, that's what their focus is. You know, so if you can get like somebody into single player, multiplayer, if you can have the best of both worlds, they'll do that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
To be honest with you, the really only thing that you can actually recommend for anybody that wants a certain experience that they're not really going to find a lot of on Xbox would be those Japanese games that they give only to a PlayStation because it's more there's a bigger fan base in Japan. You know what I mean? Like a Berserk, let's say, or like a Yakuza for the moment, right? Something like that. That's the only thing you really recommend somebody for, because you do get Japanese games on Xbox as well. The only difference is that you don't get floods of them, because in Japan there's no existence to Xbox in Japan. You know what I mean?
And they like it that way.
That's right.
That's the way their market is. Yeah. That's why I don't really focus on Japanese games. That's not what the money is. That's not the direction we should be going. Look, dude, I'm a Sega fan. I'm a big, you know, I love Japanese games and stuff like that, but it's just not the reality.
Does it seem like more children gravitate towards the PlayStation than the Xbox?
The men's section. You gotta get no.
It's just because it's popular, and that's what their parents bought.
Let me check.
That's what everybody.
Their friends got it. Yeah.
Do this first, and then I go check last.
That's the main reason.
Oh, I want.
Because I don't remember last gen like a lot of children actually playing the Xbox like that. I'm just
There
sitting
were
here
a lot of
thinking
kids.
like
There were a lot of kids.
It was alright, because I was about to say it seemed like it was
Call
more.
of Duty,
it seemed like
bro.
the Xbox is
I've been
more
called the
mature.
fucking N-word, the fucking S-word, the F-word by a bunch of little kids. I didn't know. I thought racism was dead until I played Call of Duty.
Oh no,
that's the future.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah,
It's the
I
parents,
cut a couple of.
It's the
I cut a couple of them little bastards out. I used to get them little kids in trouble. I ain't gonna lie. I used to make them say that so they get loud and they. All you hear is the parent open up the door, boom. Oh, so that's what we do now when I bought you that game system, and everybody can hear I be laughing like that. I ain't gonna lie. I got.
To be honest, they just do it because they get mad when they lose. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
So they want to hurt you by saying something offensive, but they don't understand.
Well, you know, another thing too is, dude, I mean, we were lucky because I'm not lucky, but in our generation, you know, it wasn't as accepted. So now you have a generation of parents raising kids that the parents themselves have grown up playing video games. So naturally, their kids, like my kids, how they play video games. You know, it's just that transition. So you have a lot more people playing that normally didn't when we were coming up. That's why the industry is so big, because it's so accepted now. You know, it's part of the pop culture. You know, stuff nowadays.
I mean, somebody brought up Fortnite earlier, okay? Somebody brought up Fortnite and all that stuff, and I can understand what you're saying about, you know, and the thing that is with Fortnite, you know, when they want to cross play and all that stuff, you know, Sony, you know, don't blame Microsoft for that. You blame Sony for that. That's the reason why you ain't having cross play right now, because your damn infrastructure on your online is just garbage. I just call it straight up garbage. Is what it is. The infrastructure is garbage, and that's all it is to it. And that's the reason why they not putting crossplay on that piece of crap ass system.
But the point too, Chuck, also that you're bringing up is that they're misinterpreting the message. It's not about the cross-state debacle about hating on the idea. It's just that they're keeping everything's stagnant. They're not letting it move forward because of their stupidities or their way of thinking or their stubbornness. Yeah, granted, like Sega Forever said, I commend them because they're holding their ground. They're standing their ground. I get it. But in my point of view, I just see that they're scared to lose the audience perception that they're the leading platform. Okay? Because if you're so confident in your product, you go along with whatever is best for you as a company as far as the way you look. You want people to look at you like, yeah, they're the best because they do this, they do that. And they're not doing that. They did it first when they said no backwards compat. Then they said it was too hard, right? But then Microsoft proved them wrong, right? Then they said we can't put no 4K player because it's cost too much. Then you find out that the S 4K player is one of the best ones in the market and it costs like $25 to put it in, right? Then now is this crossplay shit. Like, how much more do you need to prove to you that they just don't do it because they don't have the resources and they don't.
No, they don't.
You know, and they don't want to say it. And people really think they do. Like, they don't have the resources. They just don't. Look, Mark Cerny put out an article, and I put a picture of it, where he's stating that he's suggesting to Sony to keep the PS4 or 5 with the same structure and architecture as PS4, right? Just put a different CPU and that's it. So that it could be, so that, in other words, so that you could still play your PS4 games, just to change the CPU and the GPU and leave everything the same. That it doesn't need anything else. That'll be best for the PS5. That's just telling you right there they have no resource. Yeah, Jay, I can send it to you. That's just showing you right there that they don't have the resources for the R&D to make the next console. Because Microsoft already said it. We're not going to get caught off guard with the weakest console ever again. It's not going to happen. You're wrong. Well, Microsoft's not going to go to that shit. Go ahead.
But just to say really quickly, though, I mean, but that's also where the gamers come in. I mean, why would they want to change if the gamers are not telling them that they want that change?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Do they have to change the architecture? Because x86, that's really the end all be all for PC porting.
But nobody's pushed Sony. Like, look, one of the great things that's happened with all this narrative change about how crappy Microsoft is that we have 4K now, and we have an Xbox One. And
because it's an actual difference.
Right.
Because there's an actual difference.
And that was kind of forced upon Microsoft because Microsoft reads the tea leaves just like every other industry person, right? They read the tea leaves and see what people said. Then they found out the hard way what people say, especially online, doesn't actually translate to what they really want. Okay, and that's one of the big problems where Sony never gets challenged on this, and this is why a lot of people who play Fortnite are pissed off and are scratching their heads wondering why don't they just change? Why don't they accept crossplay? Well, they never had to.
Forever, to add to what you're saying, do you remember when the PS3 came out, that since it came out later on, they actually implemented HDMI cable or HDMI port right on the console, right? And then everybody was saying, oh no, you can't really get any 1080p resolution without HDMI. It's fake, right? And then because they only had the RGB method, which still gives you the same resolutions because you did it with OG Xbox. The difference was it wasn't through a digital signal. It was an analog signal, right? Or a coax signal, right? You could still have... Right. It was TVs like the Sharp Aqua and the Toshiba, right? That Reza, right? The Toshiba... No, Reza. That was fucking... no, it was Reza, right? It was Reza because Sony had the Bravia, right? It was the Toshiba, Reza, and the Sharp Aqua that you could just put the RGB cables with your Xbox 360 and it would read 720p and it would read it in that format with that resolution. But then Microsoft, what did they do? They saw that they had the advantage and they adapted. They went and did all new Xboxes with HDMI ports. Okay? So now people can say, oh, well, it's fake HD. And they couldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? And back then, it was a big... They clowned Microsoft for that. It was a big thing. It didn't stay for long because they switched it out real quick, you know. But that's the type of difference that you see when they do shit like that. When Microsoft doesn't have the edge, it's a clown fest. The minute that Microsoft has the edge, oh, we don't need that. You see what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah.
That's how it's always been. You know.
But see, you gotta look at who the people that's saying that we don't need. Look at the people that's saying that we don't need it. That's not the Xbox fans that's saying that.
You're right.
The ass. But we got to go outro. I gotta go run to the grocery store. I gotta cook this
Yeah,
brisket
man.
right. I can't come back home. Can't come back home and my brisket is not tender. And I got this big ass tomahawk steak.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
So let's go with our outros, man. Let's start off. Tuck Master. Tell everybody where they can find you at.
Everybody, this is your boy DJ Tuck Master, the original Pony Killer. And like I said before, I'm gonna tell you again, I would never ever buy a PS4. I haven't bought one and never will buy one. And that's all it is. You can find me on Xbox Live. You can find me on Twitter now. So I got my Twitter up and all that stuff. You can find me on Facebook.
All right.
And they fellas, y'all are a good group of fellas, and I love all of y'all.
All right.
Back at you.
So, Sega, man, tell them everybody your intelligent talk about electronics. You're the electronic man.
No, yeah. You know what I was
movie buff.
Yeah. I was gonna. What I can do is I'll put a video out then. I'll talk about the because like I said, I have the Microsoft store right down the road from me. So I went the other day and actually applied for that program that Microsoft put out at Gamescom about basically it's like a layaway program. Similar to what you do if you want to get an iPhone or a Samsung Android or anything like that. But it's actually pretty cool. And there's a lot of stuff that was being said that I got some info, but I'll put a video out on it. And then you guys can check it out. If you guys have any questions, just ask me. I asked her in fact, the person that helped me, man, I was with her for like 20 minutes. I was asking her different kind of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Was she cute? Was she cute? My number 228 100 don't hate.
He was very nice. He was a very nice person.
It's a layaway plan.
What's that?
He says a layaway plan for their phones and all that stuff, or what?
Yeah, 100. I know. Just let me do this real quick. So, go to Microsoft Store. It's only at the Microsoft Store. You can't do it online. The lady couldn't tell me if you're going to do this online or not, or if they're going to expand the program. Basically, what you're doing is you're not going through Microsoft. I mean, you're utilizing the store to go in there and kind of do everything through them, but it's actually through Dell that you're doing it. You have to open up a Dell credit card account, basically.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works. Now, I was a little bit worried about that, but to be honest with you, the process was actually pretty easy.
Okay. I got one question for you. Say you already got a Dell account. Can you just use that?
You'd have to go to the store though. It's like a
no. Say if I do go to the store and I already got a Dell account established already.
Yeah, it's because what they're giving you is they're giving you that Dell account for a line of credit, and the reason and it was actually pretty easy, man. Because I'm not saying I got the most messed up credit, but I got I'm a homeowner, I got a car payment, all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of us now they do that with phones. There's certain things you go to apply for, and then crap comes out. Maybe my main problem is I had identity theft, and that screwed up my credit bad.
You must have a PlayStation.
You mean your credit is on a thin fine line?
Right. I mean, it's not bad, but then there's stuff that pops up there. Like when I went to go get my brand new car, there's stuff that I didn't even know about popped up on there. This is a little bit more easier process because what Microsoft is doing, according to this lady now, and like I said, I went through the process. What Microsoft does is they're basically kind of guaranteeing you. They have this worked out with Dell. Like this kind of a partnership is like, and they'll extend you about $2,000 worth of credit.
Okay.
Right. But you can't do it online. You have to go through the store. Now she was saying maybe later on they'll be able to do it online, but she couldn't tell you that for sure. This is definitely something that you have to do only through the store. Also,
I would rather go to the store anyway.
Yeah, and also the other thing that I asked her, I was kind of concerned about is there was this thing at Gamescom where they're talking about this timeline. And I think that's something that they tell you, like when you get prescription drugs, they tell you, you might have diarrhea, all this kind of crap, because they got to cover their back so they don't get sued.
Right.
You talk to the manager. The manager came back and told me that the deadline that she told me was 12/31 this year. 12/31 this year. That's how long it's gonna last. So the kind of cool thing about that for me is because if you guys watch Gamescom has some really cool bundles that they're gonna put out.
Oh yeah.
Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. And I asked her because I was looking at the Battlefield bundle because that gray thing looks pretty cool.
Well, it's gold. Yeah, it's gold. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the look of it. So, when that comes out, since I got it. So anyway, I went through the process. You fill out a form. It's probably one of the easiest processes you'll do. Like most of us, our kids started school. I don't know about you guys, but we get inundated by school stuff, man. The school stuff I had to fill out for my daughter and my son was way worse than the process I had to do at the Microsoft store. And you do it on the Dell account. You do it right there with the service person. She answers all your questions if you have any help. But it's basically simple. And the one thing that they asked me, the main thing that they asked me about my income was like, how much do I make a year? And they asked me, am I a homeowner? I put yes on the homeowner. Then they asked you, how much is your mortgage? Then I put down, well, I own my house. So that probably helped too. So I don't have a mortgage payment. I own my house. So from all of that, right? They send you enter, you send all your stuff out. You go to your email box, you confirm it. Dude, within like 1 minute, they bounced it back to me and said I was approved. And they gave me like, I guess, what was it, like 2,000, 1,500, 2,000 line of credit, something around that area. So the process is pretty easy. If you're a person that's kind of shaky about look, if you have super bad credit, I don't know what to do for you. But if you're kind of shaky about your credit, I still would take a chance, because it sounds like what she was saying is Microsoft, basically what they're saying at Gamescom, and even some of the people in the press were saying, man, they just want to push it out there. They want to push those consoles out there. So they seem like they're pretty lenient.
You know what's the magic word in that deal? You know what's the magic word? Zero APR.
Yeah, zero APR.
Nothing more to say.
Well, there is a penalty if you don't pay, but like if you miss a payment, I think it's like $2, and then it builds up from there. But the overall $7 total. But the APR, like you said, yeah, there's no APR on this. Also, when you look at the money, dude, you're gonna get the console, plus you're gonna get 24 months of both live and game. I thought it was
with
only
all the exclusives.
Yeah, for that whole 2 years. Look, I mean, there's a ton of stuff. I'll try and put it out in a video, but yeah,
please do.
Yeah, because there's a lot of it's really cool actually.
That's innovative.
All right. Yeah, that's something different. They trying to get into the smartphone business. Cause trust me, I didn't pay $800 for my phone. My phone was $800. Look, I paid $17. I paid $17 extra on my bill. I don't mind doing that at all.
And there's something to be said about, I mean, I'll even talk about that, about if you should pay up front. You guys got to remember Black Friday is right around the corner, right? There's some stuff that you need to look at.
Yes, sir.
To make a smart, conscientious consumer choice so that we don't have your YouTube videos later bitching about it. There's some stuff that we need to put out about that. Some of it, I know the media covered it. There's some hate out there. But overall, dude, it's a pretty good deal.
Let's just say it's going to be a lot easier for people during the holidays to buy an Xbox than any other platform.
Dude, it's not like Canyon. It's not like Rent-A-Center.
No, and people got to put during that Rent-A-Center. If I catch somebody, if I know somebody I know use the word Rent-A-Center, they're gonna get this. They're gonna get these hands.
Yeah,
Braun Strowman. They're gonna get these hands.
Yeah, give them a couple cracks, bro. But it's nothing like that. All right,
they're gonna get these hands. No.
All right.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Yeah. So who's next on pick? Daylon. Tell you where they can find you at. They can find
yeah, Twitter, YouTube, Daylon908. Pretty much on hiatus. I'm playing Web of Shadows right now. I got a 73 hit combo. This game is fire. Pirate it because you can't buy it anymore. Pirate this shit on PC if you got it. It's great.
That's all.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit all. I don't care.
Ball is botting, right? Or is it me?
E-Rock.
Hey guys, I had fun, man. Check me out on my YouTube channel, E-Rock X. Check me out on Twitter, and catch you guys next time. Bye bye.
Yup.
All right, so we good?
Oh yeah.
Someone when you find that as earlier.
All right, you can hit me up on Xbox Live.
Ass.
What's the joke? I missed it.
Yeah, so you go the shit earlier.
Yeah.
Joke. But go and say it again.
Y'all, the same thing that I said in the beginning of the show. It's the same thing now. You also got to see me on what else? Xbox Live, DirectX, Twitter, so forth and so forth. No widow, no fucking widow.
Yeah.
And the Vibe Fiction podcast.
Nice.
Y'all can catch me on anything on the interweb. I don't care if you dislike, like, or subscribe on eBay. I'm saying that's the difference between me and the rest of us. If you gonna like us, you like us. If you don't, you don't. We about to be out of here. I gotta go buy some foil and some butter. And I gotta go sit in this motherfucking grocery store that I do not want to go to. And I've been drinking, so I'm not getting in the car. So I'm finna go walk down the hill to the grocery store. I'm just that comes on. But check everybody out. Everybody's links in the description below. This is Kaleidoscope. Like I said, he's pushing oil somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's building the new Fort Knox. And Ghost Rider, he just goes somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He I think Luigi took him. When Luigi died, he died too. So we're gonna have to go find him and bring him back and resurrect him. But we out this piece. Y'all keep it a buck and give 2 fucks.
Take care, guys.
Take care, y'all.
Take it easy, guys.